Hidden figures. The first black women who worked at NASA. Nameless geniuses. The 1960s, a time when America dreamed boldly of reaching outer space. The heroes known to the world were almost all white men. But behind history far from the spotlight, three black women were powering the secret heart of NASA. Their names: Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson. They were black, and they were women, two reasons that kept countless doors shut in America at the time. Yet their minds were clearer than anyone's, their calculations faster than any machine, and their problem-solving ability was 50 years ahead of their era. Their story goes beyond racism, sexism, and societal prejudice. It is the story of the true heroes who helped launch humanity toward space, a chance born from war. The rise of the human computers. The background of the era. Late 1940s. World War II had just ended. With men gone to the battlefield, industries desperately needed workers. Military and aviation technology advanced, rapidly, requiring endless calculations. Today, computers handle these tasks. But back then, everything had to be solved by hand. These workers were called human computers. NACA, the predecessor of NASA, had to hire hundreds of them. Most were women. Some were black. A separate room for black women West Area computers. Under the Jim Crow laws, NACA segregated black and white employees. Black women computers were placed in a separate building called West Area Computers. It was here that brilliant minds quietly calculated history. Katherine Johnson, the rise of a genius girl. A child for whom math was the easiest thing in the world. Katherine was born in 1918 in a small town in West Virginia. Her talent in mathematics was unbelievable. Entered middle school at age 10. Finished high school at 15, graduated college at 18. Her professors said, "This kind of talent appears once in a century." Called by NACA. In 1953, Katherine joined NACA as a black female computer in the Flight Research Division. She solved complex differential equations, orbital mechanics, and velocity-altitude changes faster and more precisely than anyone. White engineers said, "She's faster than the actual computer," fighting against discrimination. But genius did not protect her from discrimination. Excluded from meetings because she was a woman. Forced to walk 20 minutes to use a colored bathroom. Referred to not by name, but as that colored girl. One day, Katherine decided, "I must speak for the work I do. I belong in this meeting." I did the calculations. Eventually, she became one of the first black women to attend NASA engineering meetings. Dorothy Vaughan, the first black female mathematics leader. A woman who wanted to lead. Dorothy, born in 1910, loved mathematics and had natural leadership. She was the unofficial leader of the West Area. Computers, but she was never promoted. Not for black people. Not for women. Management is for whites only. Though unrecognized, she protected her team and had extraordinary foresight. Seeing opportunity in crisis, IBM arrives. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, NASA introduced the IBM mainframe. All calculations would soon be computerized. This meant one thing: human computers will be replaced. But Dorothy thought differently. Before the machine takes our jobs, we must learn the machine. She secretly learned Fortran at night and taught it to the women in her division. NASA's first black female supervisor. NASA eventually appointed Dorothy as the leader of the IBM programming team. She became the first black female supervisor in NASA history. Without her, NASA's transition to electronic computing would have been far slower. Mary Jackson breaking through to become NASA's first black female engineer. A born experimenter. Mary had an unusual background. She worked as a mechanic before joining NACA. She had exceptional skill with tools and mastered aerodynamic experiments with precision. A wall blocking her engineering path. Her supervisor told her, "You should be an engineer." But the required classes were offered only at a white school. Black people were not allowed to enter. Mary refused to accept this. She filed a petition to the court. "All I want is the chance to study." She won the case and took night classes at the white school. Eventually, she became NASA's first black female engineer. John Glenn's spaceflight, Katherine's calculations saved a life. The machine can be wrong. Bring Katherine. In 1962, the U.S. trailed behind the Soviet Union in the space race. The hero of NASA's hope was John Glenn. The Friendship 7 mission would decide America's future. IBM computers calculated the orbital path, but there were concerns about accuracy. So Glenn said, "Get the black woman, Katherine Johnson. If her numbers match, I'll fly. Katherine recalculated dozens of pages by hand. Her numbers were different from the machines. NASA chose Katherine's result. Friendship 7 succeeded, and America gained a turning point. In the Cold War space race, she became the only Black female scientist, behind the world's first successful orbital mission. Chapter 6. When problems arose, Black women solved them. A saying quietly spread inside NASA. If there's a problem, go to the West area. Katherine solved orbital problems. Dorothy became the heart of the computer system. Mary mastered wind tunnel and aerodynamic experiments. White male engineers who once ignored them eventually had no choice but to respect them. Names never written and recognition that came too late. For decades, NASA documents didn't include their names. They were removed from reports, omitted from research papers. But their co-workers always knew. Katherine did that calculation. Dorothy's team runs the IBM. Mary made the tunnel experiment succeed. Honors that finally arrived. Decades passed before the world acknowledged them. 2015, Katherine Johnson received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama. 2016, the film Hidden Figures moved audiences worldwide. 2019, NASA renamed a major building, the Katherine Johnson Computational Research Center. Dorothy and Mary also became officially honored figures in NASA's history. The message they leave behind. Discrimination cannot stop talent. They were ignored, underestimated, and erased, yet produced the most precise scientific results. Courage creates opportunity. Mary's fight for education opened doors for future Black female engineers. Learning is survival. Dorothy's Fortran study saved countless jobs and transformed NASA. Even if you are not recognized today, keep going. Their names were once missing, but now the world remembers. From the shadows of history to the center of the universe, NASA's success was not built only by white men in bright laboratories. It was also upheld by Black women working through the night in dim hallways, calculating humanity's dream of reaching space. They were heroes,